Coming up on AgweekTV, sugar beet harvest is well underway in the northern plains.
We take a look at the conditions causing field fires across the area and what farmers can do to help stop them.
The wild rice that's harvested right here in Cass Lake, Minnesota will soon be processed here with the new facility.
And a college student talks about how 4-H and FFA are shaping her future. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. Fires are blazing in fields across the Great Plains as farmers are out in the fields in hot, dry, dusty conditions. Ariana Schumacher tells us what farmers can do to help their local firefighters during harvest season.
By the time it got going, it was just fully engulfed.
This field fire burned over 30 acres of soybeans and corn in Worthing, South Dakota.
They had a combine that lost hydraulics and sprayed over the exhaust and started the fire. And they were able to get it mostly out, got the combine back, and then they came back out and there's still fires going.
One thing that farmers can do to help prevent the spread of field fires is to have a tractor with a disc on site.
What that does is puts the crops underneath the ground so we can stop it from spreading. If the fire does start, it definitely have a disc ready to go. That way we can utilize that and have you guys go around and help us knock this down.
If farmers are prepared to help stop fires, they can get a head start before the fire departments can get there.
With the field fires, we want farmers to help any way they can help us and just get resources coming to the fire as quick as we can.
To prevent fires, equipment operators should properly prepare their machines before entering the fields.
Greasing your bearings, if you do have loose belts, definitely get everything tightened up, just general maintenance on the equipment.
It's also important to have fire extinguishers on the equipment. If farmers have water tanks, they are also encouraged to have those full and on location or close to the field.
If they do have a fire on their combine, have a fire extinguisher with you, get it out. And if you notice that it is started up again, call right away. Don't try to put it out yourself. With this wind, it's just going to keep going and you're not going to catch up to it.
In Worthing, South Dakota, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
If a fire does break out in your field, the first thing you should do is call 911. Cattle and bison producers from around the country gathered in Rapid City, South Dakota for the Livestock Producers Freedom Rally on October 7th. They're concerned about the USDA mandate of electronic identification ear tags for cattle and bison that are sold across state lines. Concerns include cost, privacy, and market control.
It is, in my opinion, illegal. It's a violation of the law. The USDA does not have the authority to do this. But there are so many serious negative consequences associated with the USDA imposing an EID mandate against our cattle and bison producers.
Julie Trask is a veterinarian and cattle producer in Elm Springs, South Dakota. Trask says the USDA has been calling for her to sign up for premise registration and receive free electronic ear tags.
Told him I refuse to be the Judas Iscariot in all of this. I will not betray my client's private rights, property, to the information that belongs between them and me that they entrusted me with out onto their places that then I give to the state for our cooperative effort to trace things, and I refuse.
The mandate is set to go into effect on November 5th. Minnesota is known for its wild rice. Now, a federal grant will allow more of the rice to be processed closer to where it's grown, in Cass Lake. Michael Johnson has more in this week's AgWeek cover story.
I'm in Cass Lake, Minnesota, where $3.6 million in EDA funding is helping to construct a new wild rice processing facility.
Wild rice is actually a grass that grows in shallow lakes, and Minnesota is famous for it. It's historically harvested by hand by the state's tribes, which consider it sacred.
I think we have a long history of bragging that we have the best wild rice.
Gavin Herrera is with Leech Lake Tribal Development in Cass Lake. He says Leech Lake wild rice is sent to 3 processing plants. But the new facility will keep it close to home, meaning more business and jobs in the community.
For us to control harvest to sale, we'll be able to identify those different value-added opportunities to make sure that we use as much of the of the harvest as possible.
The new facility is expected to process about 200,000 pounds of wild rice each season. Wild Rice Program Coordinator Joe Fowler says sending the rice out for processing costs about $100,000 a year. Fowler says having control over the process will lead to greater profitability.
Now with this grant, we'll be in that game, and we'll oversee the whole process from start to finish. And we're excited for it, and we're excited for what that means, and be the first band-owned, tribally owned operation of that kind around this area.
The new plant should be ready for next harvest season. Herrera says eventually they hope to process wild rice for neighboring reservations as well, and they may even offer public tours to better teach about their beloved crop. In Cass Lake, Minnesota, this is Michael Johnson for AgWeek.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Ahead on AgweekTV, corn growers need to be on the lookout for a new disease that can rob yields.
Introducing the all-new Vaterstad Tempo K24, designed and built in the U.S. It combines capacity with superior precision, even at very high speeds. With PowerShoot technology that uses positive air pressure to take full control of the seed from the meter all the way down to the soil, using no belts, motors, or brushes. Start your journey to outstanding emergence. Pre-order your Tempo K today.
Farm smarter with a new 360 Rain autonomous irrigation system from Agro Valley Solutions. 360 Rain delivers precise bands of water and nutrients directly to the base of your crops. Less water, less electricity, more profit per acre. Whether you're using drain tile water, applying liquid manure, or replacing an outdated pivot, 360 Rain covers every inch of your field with ease. Discover the future of irrigation at agrovalley.net. 360 Rain, water where it matters.
People's Company and Steve Dalen Farmland Sales eXp Realty are excited to auction more than 600 beautiful acres of Clay County, Minnesota farmland. The land will be sold as 4 tracts, each featuring loamy soil and high productivity, excellent for growing small grains, corn, soybeans, and sugar beets. The auction will take place at 10 a.m. Wednesday, October 23rd at the Courtyard by Marriott in Moorhead. For more information or to register and bid online, visit peoplescompany.com. That's peoplescompany.com.
Are Peterson Farm Seed Reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
We started with a raw piece of ground out here, and we put in bins, and then we started coming in with the leg and dryer system and threw in a pit. The process with working with them has been very simple. It was a one-stop shop. Go there. We came up with a plan together, and they have been executing it flawlessly. Hi, I'm Brian Hoffman, and I highly recommend using Advanced Grain out of Mayville, North Dakota.
Corn and soybean harvest is rolling along in southern Minnesota. June monsoons and then the driest September since 1940, coupled with warmer temps, are taking a toll on yields. But the dry weather does mean harvest is progressing rapidly. Tom Hovstead is a crop scientist at the University of Minnesota's Southern Research and Outreach Center. He says soybean moisture content is a little drier than they like. He expects yields of 50 to low 60s around the region, which is down from 75 in recent years. He says corn is also coming out of the fields drier than normal.
Soybeans, I'm going to say they've been acceptable. I think corn suffered from that miserable spring more than soybeans. So I think corn yields will be off a little bit more than soybean yields.
Farmers tend to go back and forth between harvesting corn and soybeans, but this year, Hoverstead thinks most will finish soybeans before moving on. It's that time of year once again. Sugar beet harvest is well underway in the Red River Valley. I traveled to St. Thomas, North Dakota to take a closer look.
Tradition on our farm. It's a huge part of our farm where we just take a lot of pride in what we do with sugar beets.
Brent Baldwin grows edible beans, wheat, soybeans, and sugar beets in St. Thomas, North Dakota. So far, he's been pleased with how sugar beet harvest has been going.
Quality's been good. Tons are good. Tons are all over the board. Quality with sugar has been, I think mostly I've seen in 18s and 19s. So, and I said up and down the valley, that's what we're averaging. So, quality's good. Tons are good. Conditions are good. I guess everything's just going fine right now.
The growing season started off windy, causing some issues for the sugar beet crop. Moisture content was sitting well in Baldwin's acres until July, when his fields were beginning to dry out. Luckily, a timely August rainfall pushed his sugar beets to the harvest finish line.
About it, you always remember 2019. We had to leave beets in the ground. It froze. It was wet. You come to this year, we're thinking it's dry. Digging conditions are decent, but it's dry. We'd like to carry more dirt. It's never perfect, but it's good. I mean, we're good. But you always have that in the back of your mind because you never know what Mother Nature's going to do.
Harvest is a hectic time of year, so Baldwin urges people to be mindful of farming equipment when behind the wheel.
A lot of equipment on the road, a lot of heavy equipment, and then moving around, and we just try to be safe as we can. If you're out there, there's gonna be a lot of trucks, a lot of traffic. Just take a little extra time out of your day to be safe on the highways.
For Baldwin, sugar beet harvest is a special time of year that he has fond memories of.
It's something that just gets in your blood. I grew up on a farm, and I helped my dad out, and he had me doing things as a kid, and you just grow up with that in your blood, and you just love to do it. You get excited for it. This is harvest time. You put a crop in, you're hoping it grows, but harvest time is really when it pays off.
Baldwin is about 60% done with sugar beet harvest for the year. A corn fungal disease is spreading across the upper Midwest. Tar spot was found in 44 counties in eastern South Dakota this growing season. It first showed up in Illinois and Indiana in 2015 and continues to expand into the northern Corn Belt. Madeline Shires, a plant pathology specialist for SDSU Extension, says they are watching the situation closely. She says the disease is increasing in severity since it showed up in South Dakota in 2022, although it isn't affecting yields too much. Other parts of the Midwest are seeing up to 60 bushel per acre loss.
The easiest way and the quickest way to identify it is if you think about dipping a paintbrush in black paint and throwing it on a leaf. As the lesions become more mature, they make almost a cross shape on leaves as they're starting to grow and expand.
Shire says tar spot usually shows up too late in the season for fungicides, but if growers find it, they should work on removing the residue before winter. She also recommends planting tar spot tolerant hybrids. Ahead on AgweekTV, a South Dakota college student talks about how 4-H and FFA are shaping her future.
Storage Pros and Mindac Containers are your premier suppliers of shipping containers, servicing all of North Dakota and Minnesota. From 10 to 53 feet, new and used units, we have your storage solution. Pick up your unit or have it delivered. Call Mike or Jake today.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Whether you are a farmer moving a single piece, a contractor updating your fleet, or a large dealer needing to liquidate assets, Dagger Machinery will come to you and handle every step of the process.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brand does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of brand products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Prairie offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Prairie Air Reel or Prairie Wind System today.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk. AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Are these cooler temps here to stay? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Well, fall weather has arrived into many areas of the northern United States, but barely. It has not become cold. We've had a few chilly intrusions, and that will continue over the next couple of weeks as we move on through the month of October. But I don't see any sustained chilly weather, colder than average weather, anything like that taking over the lower 48, at least over the next couple of weeks. So call it the pleasantly mild fall weather will continue. Of course, the downside of this weather pattern is that many areas are dry and getting drier. Northern Plains, Southern Canada, Midwest, it's getting to be where we're talking about drought conditions in many areas. It's that time of the year where drought is less of a concern than it would be if this were springtime. But you don't usually get a lot of precipitation that adds to soil moisture during the overwinter. And so as we get into spring, if something doesn't change, we are likely going to be looking at many areas that will be relying on timely rains for spring planting. No sign of change to the overall pattern, at least as we go through the next 2 weeks. And as I see it, through Halloween and at least into the start of November, not saying there won't be some chilly days here and there, I just don't anticipate any sustained cold weather pattern. Now, as I mentioned, this weekend, we're getting one of those little intrusions of cool weather into North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and that'll kind of hang around the Great Lakes states for a while, penetrating to as far south as about Cairo, Illinois, with high temperatures perhaps only in the 50s for a day or two early this week. But as you can see, this is kind of a temporary aberration. This low is going to kind of get separated from the main flow, and we'll look for the jet stream to rebuild back across much of the central and western part of the North American continent, which will spread weather into the 70s and 80s, even as far north as Montana and Saskatchewan by the middle of the week. It'll stay fairly cool, northern plains, but in particular in the Great Lakes area. And this remnant low will kind of continue to bring cool weather to the southeastern states for a while. Eventually, we'll see that retreating. Cold weather covering Alaska, the northwest part of Canada. We are going to get weather cold enough to bring some snow down into the northern Rockies, but this is not a sustainable cool weather pattern. In fact, by the weekend, looking for a fair amount of weather in the 80s and even 90s to get up into the southern plains. That won't last that long, but the warmer than average weather pattern is likely to continue, not only through the first week, but in through the second week of the pattern as the jet stream flow goes generally west to east. And as far as precipitation goes, there just isn't going to be much change there. Mostly dry throughout the middle section of the country. Northwest and southeast get all the precipitation, and that won't change much, it looks like, probably for the rest of the month.
Storage Pros and MnDAC Containers are your premier suppliers of shipping containers, servicing all of North Dakota and Minnesota. From 10 to 53 feet, new and used units, we have your storage solution. Pick up your unit or have it delivered. Call Mike or Jake today.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Hi, Bill Kelsey here, Geringhoff Territory Manager, covering northern Minnesota and the Dakotas. At Geringhoff, we offer a full line of the best harvest headers and residue management systems on the market.
Contact me today to discuss your farm's needs. From there, I'll connect you with an authorized Geringhoff dealer.
Whether you are a farmer moving a single piece, a contractor updating your fleet, or a large dealer needing to liquidate assets, Dagger Machinery will come to you and handle every step of the process.
Farm smarter with the new 360 Rain autonomous irrigation system from AgroValley Solutions. 360 Rain delivers precise bands of water and nutrients directly to the base of your crops. Less water, less electricity, more profit per acre. Whether you're using drain tile water, applying liquid manure, or replacing an outdated pivot, 360 Rain covers every inch of your field with ease. Discover the future of irrigation at agrovalley.net. 360 Rain, water where it matters.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk.
Health and safety training is important to every area of agriculture. As the dairy industry grows, especially around the I-29 corridor, South Dakota State University Extension saw the need to offer first aid training geared specifically for the Latino workers on these operations. These training sessions cover a variety of topics, including CPR, first aid, and chemical safety.
You cannot demand things from people before you teach them. You can do that after you teach them and explain to them. We cannot have as granted that everyone knows. We are culturally different. We are not exposed to this safety and awareness culture as here in the United States.
If your farm is interested in one of these trainings, contact SDSU Extension. A South Dakota State University student credits 4-H and FFA for helping her develop important skills for her future. Kennedy Tesh has her story.
Raisa Zielinski grew up on her family's Suffolk sheep operation near Brookings, South Dakota. She's a sophomore at SDSU, majoring in animal science. She's been heavily involved in showing sheep through 4-H and FFA.
She's more so walking with me than she is walking against me.
Zielinski has also served as the state FFA secretary, and she's on the National Junior Suffolk Board. She says these experiences make her a better leader.
It teaches you so many skills that I think a lot of places don't teach anymore. And the training that we got from the state staff, from National FFA, is something that will be instilled in me forever.
She says it's important for members to find mentors, and her best advice to other 4-H and FFA members: never give up.
I know for a fact that there are so many people out there who sell 4-H animals that just want to help the 4-Hers do their best because they know the reward that FFA or 4-H has on kids. And so I just say, never be afraid to ask for help.
Zielinski believes the skills she has learned will also help her be a better college student. And she plans to stay active in ag organizations and showing sheep. And she hopes Suffolk sheep will continue to be a part of her life.
I want to be able to take over this operation and continue to do it with my dad.
In Brookings, South Dakota, this is Kennedy Tesh for AgWeek.
Still ahead on AgweekTV, a small farm for immigrants has big plans to expand.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed. We're that kind of seed company.
Hi, Bill Kelsey here, Geringhoff Territory Manager, covering northern Minnesota and the Dakotas. At Geringhoff, we offer a full line of the best harvest headers and residue management systems on the market.
Contact me today to discuss your farm's needs. From there, I'll connect you with an authorized Geringhoff dealer.
People's Company and Steve Dalen Farmland Sales eXp Realty are excited to auction more than 600 beautiful acres of Clay County, Minnesota farmland. The land will be sold as 4 tracts, each featuring loamy soil and high productivity, excellent for growing small grains, corn, soybeans, and sugar beets. The auction will take place at 10 a.m. Wednesday, October 23rd at the Courtyard by Marriott in Moorhead. For more information or to register and bid online, visit peoplescompany.com. That's peoplescompany.com.
Do you have salty fields? Try calcine.
We've been putting it on some of our worst spots, and every year you see more bushels, greener crop, healthier crop. Some land down by the river that almost had to take out of production. We've been able to use calcine and bring it back to equal to the rest of the fields. Calcine mixes with basically anything. We put it down with our starter fertilizer. We've mixed it with herbicides. We've applied it broadcast. We've applied it banded. So it's worked in pretty much any capacity, and there's no volatility issues. So it's a very easy to use product.
Let's talk. Visit us at EricksonCustomOperations.com.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
An ag co-op for small growers in southeast Minnesota is growing. The Village Agricultural Cooperative has just had its best season since forming in 2019. The co-op's mission is to increase land access, resources, sales, and markets for immigrant farmers in Rochester. Village co-founder Kim Sin says this year 34 farmers raised food on 11 acres of land leased from a local farmer. They grew enough food to feed their families and sell the extra, but they would like to be able to buy the land.
You know, right now we're year-to-year lease, and that's kind of put a lot of stress on our farmer, because it's nice to have them kind of say, okay, I'm going to be here for 5 years, so they can plan, they can, you know, think about what they need to grow and support the community.
This season, Village farmers produced about 2,000 pounds of vegetables each week to sell at the farmers market. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Farmers and state ag departments are left scrambling after Pure Prairie Poultry ran out of funds to care for over 1 million chickens across Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. And heat has been slowing down potato harvest in Minnesota and North Dakota. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.